Germany's Leopard 2 main battle tank has a reputation as one of the finest in the world, competing for that distinction with proven designs such as the American M1 Abrams and the British Challenger 2. However, that reputation for nigh-invincibility has faced setbacks on Syrian battlefields and placed Berlin in a uniquely awkward national-level dispute with Turkey, its fellow NATO member. Ankara had offered to release a German political prisoner in exchange for Germany upgrading the Turkish Army's older model Leopard 2A4 tank, which had proven embarrassingly vulnerable in combat. However, on January 24th, public outrage over reports that Turkey was using its Leopard 2s to kill Kurdish fighters in the Syrian enclaves of Afrin and Manbij forced Berlin to freeze the hostage-for-tanks deal. The Leopard 2 is often compared to its near contemporary, the M1 Abrams. In truth, the two designs share broadly similar characteristics, including a scale-tipping weight of well over 60 tons of advanced composite armor, 1,500 horsepower engines allowing speeds over 40 miles per hour and, for certain models, the same 44 caliber 120mm main gun produced by Rheinmetall. Both types can easily destroy most Russian-built tanks at medium and long ranges, at which they are unlikely to be penetrated by return fire from standard 125mm guns. Nicknamed Eber. The West German government made the decision, following the conclusion of the Gilded Leopard study in 1967, to concentrate on experimental development in a feasibility study and to develop new components for enhancing the Leopard 1 and utilizing them in a subsequent program for main battle tanks. Initial investments ranged from 25 million DM to 30 to 32 million DM, with the industry concluding that the two planned testbeds could not be developed on such a limited budget. In order to adapt the Leopard 1's design so that it could meet the MBT-70's firepower requirements, two prototypes with different parts were constructed. The primary objectives of the experimental development were a high first-hit probability at distances of 2,000 meters, 6,600 feet, and the capability to precisely engage moving targets with a computerized fire control system. The resulting automobiles were dubbed Keeler, which means Tusker, in 1969 and 1970. The MB-872 engine was used to power both of the Keeler's ET-01 and ET-02 prototypes. Germany withdrew from the MBT-70 project in 1969 due to significant cost overruns and technological issues. The design was revolutionary. In late 1969, it became clear that Germany would stop the binational development after unsuccessful attempts to save the MBT-70 through conceptual changes to eliminate the biggest problem, the driver sitting in the turret. The German Ministry of Defense's Assistant Secretary of the Military Procurement Division suggested using as many technologies developed for the MBT-70 as possible in a subsequent program, which was given the nickname Eber, meaning boar, because the program's lead developer was named Eberhard. An alternative to completing the Eber's development was chosen a year later, based on the earlier Keeler project from the late 1960s. Paul Werner Kraft was appointed project officer for the Leopard 2 program in 1971, and the design was given the name Leopard 2, with the original Leopard retroactively becoming Leopard 1. There were initially two projected versions, the Leopard 2K and Leopard 2FK, both of which would be equipped with guns and the MBT-70's XM150 gun/launcher. Armor protection. Spaced multi-layer armor is used throughout the design of the Leopard 2. Steel plates of varying hardness, elastic materials, and other non-metallic materials make up the armor. Steel plates with a high ductility and hardness are used. The armor is the result of extensive research into how shape-charged jets form and penetrate. Based on estimates made by former German Army professional soldiers and unofficial measurements, the Leopard 204's armor has a maximum physical thickness of 800 millimeters, 31 inches. The wedge-shaped armor module raises the Leopard 2A5 and subsequent models' thickness to 1,500 millimeters, 59 inches. The design of the Leopard 2 is based on compartments. The crew has been moved away from any potential fire or explosion sources. Ammunition and hydraulics are kept separate from the crew in compartments in the turret. The blow-off panels on the compartment roofs will divert the fire and explosion away from the crew in the event of a detonation. In the Leopard 2A5 upgrade, armor protection was the primary focus. The roof that covers the armor modules on a Leopard 2 tank is cut open while it is being upgraded to the Leopard 2A5 configuration, and new armor modules are inserted. The frontal arc of the turret is covered by brand new laminated armor modules. They provide enhanced protection against both kinetic penetrators and shaped charges and have a distinctive arrowhead shape. Armor protection has also been improved into the side skirts. In the event of armor penetration, the likelihood of crew injuries is reduced by a 25mm spall liner. The latest generation of passive armor and belly armor provide protection against IEDs and mines in the Leopard 2A7. The Leopard 2A7 has adapters that can be used to mount additional armor modules or RPG-resistant systems. Armament. The Rheinmetall 120mm smoothbore gun, which was later adapted for use on the M1 Abrams, serves as the primary weapon in either the L/44 or the L/55 production versions of the Leopard 2. An additional 15 rounds are stored on the left side of the turret bustle, which is separated from the fighting compartment by an electrically operated door. The ammunition for the gun is stored in a special magazine in the forward section of the hull, to the left of the driver's station. The gun is fully stabilized and can fire a variety of rounds, including the German DM-12 high-explosive anti-tank HEAT and the German DM-43 APFSDST anti-tank round, which is said to be able to penetrate 560mm, 22 inches, of steel armor at a range of 2,000 meters, 2,200 yards. To take advantage of the longer barrel on the L/55 gun, a newer APFSDST round called the DM-53 was introduced. This round is said to be able to penetrate 750mm of ray armor at a distance of 2,000 meters. The Israeli Lahat anti-tank guided missile can now be fired through the main gun of Leopard 2 tanks thanks to an upgrade developed by Rheinmetall. The missile has a range of 6,000 meters, or 20,000 feet, at which it can engage targets. New upgrade. In fall 2016, Turkish Leopard 2s from the 2nd Armored Brigade were finally deployed to the Syrian border in support of Operation Euphrates Shield. Prior to the arrival of the Leopards, about a dozen Turkish patent tanks were destroyed. Turkish defense commentators expressed hope that the more formidable Leopard would do better. The Model 2A4 was the last of the Cold War-era Leopard 2, designed to fight in relatively concentrated units in fast defensive warfare against Soviet tank columns, not to defend against IEDs and missiles fired by ambushing rebels over the long range. A counterinsurgency campaign in which every defeat is a political issue. This was shockingly illustrated in December 2016 when evidence emerged that multiple Leopard 2s had been destroyed in the fierce battle over Al-Bab. The way the Turkish Army used German tanks likely contributed to the losses. Instead of using them in combined arms alongside infantry supporting each other, they are deployed to the rear as long-range fire support weapons while Turkish allied Syrian militias reinforced with Turkish Special Forces lead attacks. In 2017, Germany began rebuilding its tank fleet, building an even more powerful Leopard 2A7V model to survive in a counterinsurgency environment. Now Ankara is urging Berlin to upgrade the defense of its Leopard 2 tanks, especially since the domestically produced Altay tank has been repeatedly delayed. The Turkish military wants not only additional belly armor to protect against IEDs, but also the addition of an active protection system, APS, that can detect an incoming missile and its point of origin, and stop or even shoot it down. The U.S. Army recently authorized the installation of the Israel Trophy APS on its M1 Abrams brigade tank, a type that has proven effective in combat. Meanwhile, Leopard 2 manufacturer Rheinmetall has unveiled its own ADATS APS, which it considers to pose less risk of injuring friendly troops with its defensive countermeasures missiles.